Hey y'all, Tucker Flips, and just like that, we're back with another story time. Now, this story time wasn't supposed to happen until a few weeks ago. This certain incident occurred that we're going to talk about. Okay, fast forward, let's do this. It's the night before this happens, and I'm sitting there in bed, and I'm kind of bored, and I'm thinking, I got nothing planned this weekend. Why don't I call up some boys? Call up like 20 people. 10 of them get back to me. 5 of them can actually do the plan. I said, okay. I said, all right, boys, I'm going to text you the address and let's go have a knife meetup. Now, for all you guys that don't flip knives a lot or are beginning to flip knives or don't flip knives at all, a knife meetup is basically a party for butterfly knives. Now, everybody brings knives that are legal to own. And in the state that I live in, I'm not going to dox myself, but the state that I live in, you are allowed to flip these in public, and including live blades, which is awesome. What's not awesome is not everybody's educated on it. Boy. Okay. So here's what happens. I call up, I say, let's have a knife meetup. And again, a knife meetup's just a knife meetup. It's like a party for knives. You get a bunch of knife flippers together, you go, you flip, you have a good time, you trade, you sell, all that. So I'm talking, I'm like, okay, let's get it done. So we're like an hour into the meetup and nothing's wrong. The meetup's at a public park. And before you guys freak out and say, but there's kids there, there's this. Okay. We went into the woods because there's hiking trails, and we went really far out into a little beach area that honestly you have to know about to get to. You can't just stumble up across that. Okay. The only problem is there is on the other side of this giant river, which has a really strong current, so it's not like you could walk through it, you know what I mean? On the other side of this river, there's another trail. There's one little part that you can go off to and see where we were. And other than that, can't see it again. Okay, so it's not like we were flipping in front of children or whatever. We kept our distance. I made sure every knife was legal, everything, okay? So, okay, here's where the story gets juicy. We're about an hour in. I'm minding my own business. My homie was like, yo, can I have some thick oil? We're passing oils around. We're passing knives around. He put some thick oil on a squiddy. Legitimately looked at me and said, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. If you guys have never put thick oil on a squiddy, you should. And this is what happens. Minding our own business. Everybody's calm. Everybody's having a good time. And this lady, I guess she's out for a walk. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll say late 50s. I don't want to be rude, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll say late 50s. And she comes out, and she's going for a walk. And I'm thinking, okay, this isn't that big of a deal. It's whatever. She's going for a walk. She peeks her head, and she goes on the little trail. And by the way, you have to get out of the trail just a little bit so you can kind of peer over and see us because it's on a pier. So she gets out. There's drop one. She gets out and peers over, just kind of at us. And I'm sitting there thinking nothing of it. And she doesn't think anything of it either. Okay. And then she walks away. And we're like, okay. Hey guys, that lady saw it, nothing crazy. She walked away. We're all good, but everybody's knife is legal. So remember, you guys are okay. You literally just can't use them in a threatening way, which is like any way to handle a knife. You can't use threatening. I mean, any knife law says that. The knife law in our state is under 6 inches. And let's be honest, unless we're flipping the giant balisong sword from Astropus, I just pronounced that so wrong. I'm sorry, guys. We're under 6 inches. So this is what happens. Like, okay. Go back to flipping, la-da-da-da-da. Yo, where my squiddy G at, guys? I don't know where my squiddy G at. I'm freaking out. And I look back over, and she's peering over again. And I'm like, what the hell? What is she doing? She walks back away. I look at my boys, I go, all right, y'all, I think we're going to have an issue. And they're like, what? Why? I go, she just peered over again. And they're like, maybe she really just doesn't know what we're doing. I go, yeah, but judging by the age she looks, I think she knows what butterfly knives are. And they were not used for good things in her time, except for filleting fish. Shout out to all them fishermen out there that use them for that. All right, whatever. Blow it off, blow it off, blow it off. All right, bet. First of all, what do you guys think of this painting my mom made? It's pretty dope. All right, anyway. Next thing. Minding my own damn business again. And we're trying to do this thing where we go under the leg, catch, boom, to the neck with a live blade. And for you guys that don't flip, you can safely do that. I just want to put that out there. You can actually safely do that. You just have to practice and know how. Okay. So here's what happens. Karen over here comes back around. Same thing. And then she literally says this. Cops are coming. I go, excuse me? She goes, cops are coming. I'm like, okay, come on. I mean, she's a distance away. I know most people are like, all right, well, why don't you come talk to us? If we're flipping knives, I wouldn't necessarily walk super close up to the group, but I would say something. But again, I am a knife flipper, so I wouldn't be scared. But I mean, she is a very good distance away. So she could have been like, hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, can you guys not do that? Hey, can this? Nope. Just cops are coming. I'm like, bruh. And my boys are freaking out because they're like, what do we do? What do we do? The cops are coming. We got to run. We got to run. I go, no, if we run, that's a bigger crime. Cops are coming. And she looks and goes, you're all going to jail. I go, why? And she goes, you can't have knives in a public place. I go, yes, we can. She goes, no, you can't. I go, yes, we can. Technically, this also isn't a public park anymore. This is honestly just the woods at this point. It's past the border of the park. So I was like, honestly, this ain't even a public park. If you really want to get technical and get the border out, these are all under 6 inches. So yes, we can. Thank you. No, you can't. All right. You know, I'm not going to argue. So just when the cops show up, we can do that. So I go, all right, boys, pack your knife cases up. Let's save them the trip and let's go over to where, because the only way to get in would be a trail. So I go, why don't we just go to the end of the trail? And the cops know I flip. The cops know me. Not for bad reasons. They just love the knife flipping. And they watch the YouTube videos. So we roll up. La-da-da-da-da. I'm sitting there at the edge. I'm sitting there like literally crisscross applesauce on the ground at the very edge of the trail. I'm like, all right, boys, don't panic. I go, don't reach for anything. Knives out of your pockets. Put knives. Yeah, I go, yeah, knives out of your pockets, guys. Don't have any knives in your hands. Don't reach for anything. Keep your cases open, though, so it's displayed. Can you tell I've done this before? And Karen still isn't finished. Karen comes walking back over. I'm about to ruin a kid's knife meetup. I got nothing better to do with my life. And this is what happens. Comes over and goes, yep, all of you are going to jail. What do you got to say? I'm like, ma'am, can you go? Like the cop. And by now she's like literally close to us. Like she's like a few feet there. And I'm sitting there thinking, ma'am, what? Sadly, my phone died, which annoyed me. And nobody got back to me in time. And honestly, I think everyone was so nervous, nobody took a video. What we should have done was to pull the GoPro out if I had it. I did not. RIP. So here's what happens. Karen's over here. And she was like, yep, you guys are going to have that. Yeah, you're going to do this. Yeah, all this. She was just making stuff up. And my friend finally says, can you shut blank up? You know, the fancy word in there. And then when the cops called, I already knew this was going to end bad because the cops called and she was like, they used the F word on me. Literally, the cops came. And she was like, they're flipping dangerous objects. They're throwing them up in the air. They use the F word on me. That is a hate crime. That is literal harassment. And then they proceed to keep harassing me by telling me, oh, we're not going to go to jail. Oh, we're not going to do this. And I'm sitting there thinking, you cannot be serious. And the officer knows me. So the officer looks at me and goes, Tucker, can I have a word with you? I go, yep. And we walk over and we go like a little distance away from them. And I'm talking to the officer. He was like, what happened? So I explained to him, oh, we're just having a really nice normal knife meetup. We're deep in the woods over there, so we're not near kids. And he goes, ooh, I like that. I go, yep. So we're not near kids. We're minding our own business, literally having fun, having a good time, okay? And they go, okay. And he goes, did she tell you that the cops were coming? I go, yep. He goes, did she tell you to put them away? I go, nope. He goes, did your friend say F you to her? I go, yeah, but First Amendment. He goes, I know, that's not a crime. I'm like, okay. And he goes, okay. While I'm explaining this, Karen over here is yelling at me. Make sure you tell him how your friend said the F word. Make sure you tell him how you're using these knives dangerously. Make sure. I'm like, bruh, let me talk. And the officer kept going, okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you talk one more time and interrupt this case, I'm going to have you detained. Understand? Okay, yeah. Great. Karen didn't get her way. Now Karen's very mad. So Karen proceeds to go off on the officer after the officer's like, all right, boys, well, thank you guys for your cooperation. I'm very sorry that this happened. She's like, no, they're flipping dangerous objects. They need to go to jail. That is literally so, I don't even remember the fuck she said. It was like, that was so violent or so dangerous. That's so dangerous. They can hurt other people. They can hurt all these other people around here. And I'm sitting there looking around. By the way, it's like a holiday weekend. The park is dead. So I look around and I go, the two people in the dog park all the way over there. And she was like, now he's going to mock me. And then they're like, okay, ma'am, everything he did has not broken the law. Okay? He has a right to be here just like you have a right to be here in the public park. Do you understand? You cannot walk up and harass kids because they're having fun. Okay? They're doing nothing wrong just as you're doing nothing wrong. So if you could please leave the kids alone, they will leave you alone. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I mean, we left her alone to begin with. And she was like, well, they kept coming up to us. I'm like, man, we didn't come up to you once. You came up to us. Bro, come on, please. Oh, well, they keep doing it. And then he's like, ma'am, we are leaving now. If we get another call that you harass these kids, we are going to be forced to do something. And he looks at me, he goes, Tucker, have a wonderful day. I go, you too. And they get in their car and they drive off. And Karen looks at us, goes, you all should have went to jail, and walks away. And I was like, okay, so there's a good ending. She walked away. But bro, leave me alone. Let the kids flip. I mean, I've had my fair share of stuff happen while flipping. I had the expelled notice. I had the suspended notice. I had the almost suspended notice. I got restrained for my glow mod and got my glow mod stolen from me. I had the cops calling me for a glow. Like, I've had so many issues with knives that I'm actually going to leave a link in the description to all the balisong laws. So all you school officials, cops, anything out there that are watching, every state law will be in the description. But guys, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate this story. Hopefully next time I get a very good camera angle of this happening. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Okay? Just like that, I'm Tucker Phillips. I really hope you enjoy the story time, and we are out.